Some very active movers today. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions here with a super quick market update. I have not taken any trade today because, like I recapped, my big mistake that I made yesterday was during a very volatile market, I forced an early trade and then pretty much had to catch up for the remainder of the day, making up, pretty much trying to recover from the loss that I took. Today, I've stayed very patient, very calculated. I've been waiting for CoreWeave all day, and it's still pumping, and I'm okay with that. I announced it to my LPP team that after today's live trading session, I wanted to be a little bit more relaxed. The last thing that I want is, no, CoreWeave has to sell off. Well, no, it doesn't, right? NVIDIA just invested $2 billion or announced the $2 billion investment with CoreWeave. What better news could there be for a positive catalyst for a company like CoreWeave? Like, it makes sense on why it's running, and I want to respect it, right? It would be so naive for me to be like, no, it has to sell off. It's overbought. Again, just because something is overbought doesn't mean that you have to short it. Sentiment is in the favor for the bulls. I want to respect that, and I'm going to. So because of that, I'm out. I'm just watching. The only other one that I'm kind of looking at potentially trading is INTC. But even this, right? It recently sold off due to earnings. It's at a potential support and it has some recovery potential. I also possibly don't want to force something here that I then later end up regretting. So again, really challenging myself to be patient, but it's feeling good, kind of just being cash, especially because the FOMC rate decision is tomorrow and some big tech companies report earnings tomorrow as well. With that being said, the big, like, not a lot of people are talking about it because it's not a big tech stock, and I get that. I love when moments like this present themselves. It reminds me of like when it first happened, and I wanted to follow up with the video, kind of just shedding light. I'm not going to go into the full in-depth analysis. I just want to quickly cover what's going on with UnitedHealth. It's about to hit 20% red on the day. What happened, right? Well, we talked about it briefly yesterday, where after market hours, an update was sent by Trump, pretty much kind of like eating into the margins of these insurance companies. Obviously, UnitedHealth, being one of the largest insurance companies in the United States, took a hit. I think they were down like 10% at one point, but then ended up like 7 or 8% in the red. That was just hours before they were set to report earnings. And you would think that based off of its earnings report, it was terrible because it dropped another 10%, right? It's now down 20%. But if you look at the actual earnings, again, I wanted to show you the data. They had an expectation of $113.73 billion. Yeah, that's for a quarter. That's the part that I feel like a lot of people don't understand. UnitedHealth prints money. They're not like those BS speculative companies that make $1 billion in revenue a year in revenue. No. 113 for Q4. Their expectation was 113.7. They came in at 113.2. So it is a miss, right? EPS came in at 2.11 when the expectation was 2.11, but guidance was also a little bit lower. And that's what I wanted to shed light on, is that UnitedHealth posts modest earnings beat and soft revenue guidance as insurer plots a turnaround. And that's, I would say, the pretty much highlight of this overall recap from what I've understood. It's the first time in a decade that UnitedHealth has had declining revenue. I love this because it sheds light on, the uncertainty and some of the negative catalysts that have been driving, investors out of UNH. With it being investigated from the UnitedHealth killer and all the negative sentiment and news that it had. If I'm not mistaken, I think they shared that they had like over 3 million. Yeah. So overall U.S. membership decline of more than 3 million in 2026. He pointed out to a fairly sizable overall U.S. membership decline of more than 3 million in 2026. So again, like, they are shedding light on, they're less popular. There's been a lot of negative sentiment around the company. This is my thing. I fully understand your position if you think ethically, because of what you think about these insurance companies, that you cannot see yourself investing in them. I respect that, right? When I look into this company, and I want to refresh it here for you. This is Investing Pro, right? It's the first link in the description down below. For me, it allows me to do a little bit more of an in-depth analysis. I look at the PE ratio. It's cheap, 18.1 times its earnings. It's a company that produces $435 billion in revenue that's increasing. Its net income is $18.3 billion. So again, it has been a little choppy lately when it comes down to net income, but revenue is good. And when you click at the pro research, this is my favorite part. I want to understand if this is a growing company, because if you look at UnitedHealthcare, I don't care about the day. Markets always overreact in short time frames, right? This is UnitedHealthcare. Based off of March of 2025, we went from $600 per share. This is like when the healthcare shooting happened, the killer, right? Originally sold off and then recovered, but went from $600 per share all the way down to $231. So it lost over 50% of its value. Now it's trading at $282. You would think with nearly a 50% decline, oh wow, fundamentals, the business aspect has to be terrible. But when you look at the revenue, it paints a different picture. That's all I want to share. I'm not here to convince you. I believe that if you hate these companies and you think that it's going to fail, I welcome it. Feel free to short it. I'm not like those MSTR bag holders that get offended because you don't agree or see eye to eye with me. I believe that, again, as an American, you have every right to invest or to short in any company that you see to be fit that meets your criteria. And if you think that this company is it, I welcome it. Feel free to short it, all of you, right? But when I see that, hey, there's a discrepancy possibly here. Revenue is growing, but price action is declining. And although we do have lower guidance, if I can listen to a very simple theory of buy when there's fear in the market and sell when there's greed. Well, where is there greed in the market? Silver, gold, crypto, right? All these supposed precious metals, natural gas, copper that have been going parabolic. That's where everyone's focus is right now. And I get it. It's exciting. There's a lot of momentum. And for traders, there's a lot of money to be made. But we can all agree that it's not a good deal, right? For me, this is kind of exciting. So what I decided to do is I had a quick little call with my financial advisor, and I have a financial advisor for my daughter and for my partner, Rachel. And I love having conversations with these financial advisors because you get a different perspective. He's much more conservative than me in the sense of how he sees investments. And I love that because if I believe that I know it all, I'm going to miss or overlook a lot of potential opportunities. And although he shedded light on, okay, well, you don't want your exposure to be too much just with this one specific company that currently has negative sentiment, but he understands the value piece, right? And for me, I could make a whole video diving deeper into UnitedHealthcare and why I like it, but I just decided to keep it simple. Literally with my daughter's account, we just decided to buy like a little bit over $1,000. Literally don't need to overcomplicate it. My daughter's account isn't anything huge. It sits, if I'm not mistaken, for one of her accounts, it's like right around $50,000, right? She just turned 4. And my goal is to be able to buy and invest in good deals that as time goes on can appreciate and that is not needed right now. Our timeline to make money off of UnitedHealthcare is not anytime soon. So if you are trying to make money right now, correct. I don't think UnitedHealthcare is most likely going to be it. But if you're looking for a deal that could potentially, because things can get worse before they get better, if the investigation continues or negative sentiment continues and it really turns things around for UnitedHealthcare and, dives them even deeper, that's always, if I was super certain about anything, then yeah, you're right. I probably would have put more exposure to it. But the thing that I like about it is that it's been incredibly bullish for a long period of time. It is going through an unfortunate downturn. It's unfortunate for those that were invested up here, but that wasn't me. I decided to buy down here. And that's the part that's exciting for me. I view it as a deal, not just technically, but fundamentally. And that's what I wanted to show you. Not because I feel like you need to agree with me, because that's definitely not the case. I can see why someone would not want to invest in this. They think that, they're unfair, they're unethical, and this company is going to go under. And based off of what Trump has presented, it could make it more challenging for these insurance companies to be able to turn a profit as much as they once were. I respect that. But in my opinion, and that's all it is we need these insurance companies just as much as they need us. And Healthcare is one of the United States' largest healthcare company. Again, not an opinion, but it's a fact. So you can hate them, but at the end of the day, they are very good at what they do and they print money. And that's what I find most attractive. Again, I went in with a very small dollar amount for my daughter. We have no intention of making any money anytime soon. I see it as a long-term investment. We can buy something at a good deal and maybe add more as direction becomes more favorable. And that's what I like about it. So I wanted to shed light on the, negative news that drove the stock price down, lower guidance. They had declining revenue for one of the first times in the past decade. That's all something that I think needs to be talked about. But when you look at the fair market value, especially on Investing Pro, of what it has of potential upside, when you look into their fundamentals, their increasing revenue, their net income, again, isn't necessarily hasn't been as consistent in the signs of growth. But that's funny how some people overlook net income with all these speculative and up and coming stocks. But then when it comes down to a fundamentally well-ran business like UNH, they're like, no, but look at their net income. It's no longer growing. It's like, well, how come you don't have that same perspective with everything else, right? I just find that to be interesting, but it's situational, right? They want it to meet their narrative and nothing else. So nonetheless, right now it's down 20%. And if it continues to sell off, it's definitely a possibility. If you're trying to make money right now, I don't see UnitedHealthcare to be a good trade or something that needs to recover anytime soon. I want to make sure that that's understood. I see it as a long-term investment, and I'm very excited to follow up. With that being said, tomorrow, after the market closes, we have Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla reporting after the market closes. And that is where a lot of people are looking out and really waiting. On top of that, we have the FOMC rate decision. For those that do not know, tomorrow there is a 95% probability that the Federal Reserve is going to pause and a 4% probability that the Federal Reserve is going to cut. So based off of that, again, a lot of more volatility is bound to present itself based off of market expectation and what is actually reported. So markets, if you want them to rally, you want them to cut interest rates. If you want them to drop or possibly stay the same, you want them to pause, right? As of right now, the Federal Reserve has one rate cut projected for 2026. We'll see if that changes. But you guys let me know down in the comments section what you think. And the only other thing that I want to talk about very, very quickly, I don't want to bore you with this, is American Airlines. We made a video over the weekend just calling out that some of these airline companies might be overbought and getting ready for a retracement as lower guidance might be, in its future. We can't predict the future. We never can, but we can always look at previous patterns and understand and try to take into consideration consumer sentiment. And it looks like it is beginning to downturn and going back down to previous lows of $11 per share. So again, very happy that we're able to just share ideas with one another, not because we feel like we are right with every idea we choose to share, but because we care enough to have these conversations. And again, if these are the conversations that you like having, I would love to be a part of your trading and investing journey. And all I ask you to do is to drop a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll do my part in keeping you up to date. I do plan to live stream the FOMC rate decision tomorrow and Tesla, Meta, and Apple's, Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla's earnings tomorrow. And all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, and I'll do my part in keeping you up to date. Again, I hope that earned your thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow for our live trading session. If you want to tune on in, we have a discount link for you. Second link in the description down below. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.